The Big Ten women's gymnastics season begins tonight on the Big Ten Network with a top 20 matchup at the PAV in Minneapolis as the Iowa Hawkeyes are in town to take on the Minnesota Golden Gophers as Minnesota celebrates 50 years of women's gymnastics. As usual, Big Ten featured in the top 25 with 8 out of the 10 teams in the top 25, including Minnesota at 17 and Iowa at 20. And good evening, everyone. I'm Dean Linke. Always great to be with the four-time Big Ten champion from Michigan, Olivia Karas. And, of course, Olivia, your favorite time of the year.
Here we are, two incredibly evenly matched teams returning a lot of veterans, but some new faces on both teams that we're excited to see how they perform tonight as we start off Big Ten conference competition.
Superstars everywhere. We'll start with the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Adeline Kenlin has always been incredible for the Hawks, but this year in particular, she is crucial in the all-around. Already has her career high last week in their debut against Washington. She's really looking to hone in on those landings and be even better this weekend. Karina Munoz is the true dance and showmanship queen on this team. She has been battling with a little bit of a late preseason injury that's taken her out of floor this evening, but she will be back and is looking to gain some momentum across the board. And Eva Volpe, the freshman, has made her all-around debut last weekend. She's been incredible already for the Hawks, in particular on uneven bars, where she has lovely lines and excellent execution.
Olivia, for Minnesota, we always have our eye on a perfect 10.
Maya Hooten just embodies perfection with 7 career perfect 10s on floor exercise, including the one last weekend at home. She's really trying to get into the all-around game, and this season might be the time where she cracks into the beam lineup. Gianna Gertis has always been great for the Gophers, but this season in particular, she is crucial on all 4 events. In particular, balance beam, so calm, cool, and collected, really trying to keep that momentum moving through the season. And the freshman Jordan Leiden has already made a name for herself as a Gopher gymnast, named the Big Ten Freshman of the Week in the first week of competition. She's going to be on balance beam this evening, and Coach Jenny Hansen says she can go big when she's on, so excited to see her there.
Jenny Hansen in her 10th year, 8 times she's taken the Golden Gophers to the regionals. The former gymnast, part of those 50 years of Minnesota women's gymnastics. That's the vault lineup for the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Love seeing Marissa Jenks step in there as the leadoff performer on vault. Looking at Maya Hooten there in the anchor position to really find that stuck landing. She's been a little bit off so far, but that will be massive to see if she can find that landing. This is her vault from championships this past season. Incredible height, distance, lovely control on the landing. That's exactly what they're looking for.
Incidentally, that was at Iowa. Iowa's now at Minnesota, led by Larissa Libby. 20th season as the Iowa head coach, the Canadian who was an outstanding gymnast at LSU, the 3-time Big Ten Coach of the Year. Larissa
talked so highly about this team, in particular, loving the mix of freshmen, juniors, seniors, sophomores. They have someone from every class in this competition order, so a great opportunity to look at the entire team's talent on that event from top to bottom.
We'll start on the vault. Some final instructions. Marissa Jenks already with a 9.85 career high. Last week a 9.825 for the junior. Followed by Wynn, Pearl, Mora, Gianna Gertis, and Maya Hooten. Gertis and Hooten, the leaders of the team. Thing about the Minnesota coaching staff, Olivia, is there's been some consistency there. Rich Stenger has been there the entire time, and Geraldine's also been there the entire time.
And here goes Marissa, such a crucial athlete for this Gopher squad. Lead off on vault. She sets the tone, and really nice work there on full twisting Yurchenko. Very common vault that you will see across the board from many teams in the NCAA. Starts from a 9.95. Nice execution in the air. A little bit of a bend in the hips, which caused the hop backwards. That's called an over rotation. So the judges will deduct both for the execution of the body position as well as the hop backwards.
Both these teams off to an excellent start to their season as Ava Volpe with a 9.8 on the bars, leading off as a rookie.
Good first handstand by Ava. Always important to hit that handstand to get moving nicely. Oh no. Looks like she just missed the body position on the kip. That's the skill that gets you ready to project for the handstand. Looks like she was just a little bit off. Nice work on that last handstand, hitting the perfect position. And short on that dismount. Looks like she lost the rhythm overall on that uneven bars routine after the miss. A really nice release there. Just looks like she couldn't quite get her shoulders over her hips to hit that perfect handstand position. And let me tell you, Dean, it is very difficult to continue a bar routine after you lose rhythm. So major kudos to her for making it through the end, but of course that under rotation on the dismount will hurt her score.
Perhaps a little bit of nerves for the freshman debuting on the Big Ten Network. Sophia Wynn, 9.75 career high.
And this vault is excellent. She just needs to open her hips there on the landing, and that's exactly what I was talking about. That big step backwards as a result of the body position in the air. A little bit of separation in the legs on the pre-flight. That is the body position from the springboard onto the table. The judges are sitting on the side of the vault, so they don't have as good of a view as we just did for that pre-flight position, but they will deduct for the step on the landing.
Wynn, a freshman from the great state of Minnesota. As we move to Marissa Rojas, career high 9.825. Last week had a 9.7. Big deep breath as she gets ready to roll.
The key for Marissa here is to really focus on the execution of these skills. She's a very solid athlete for the Hawkeyes, but you'll notice a little bit of leg separation throughout the routine that Coach Larissa Libby told me is a major point that they're working on for Marissa to increase her scoring potential.
See Volpe in with a 9.15 as Rojas begins.
Excellent job on that Ginger release move. That's exactly what I was talking about with the leg separation. Just a little bit there on her bail handstand transition. But good work so far, honing in on those little deductions that really add up. Oh, and a stuck landing, but unfortunately did have to bring her chest down, which, while her feet didn't move, the judges will deduct for that small bobble on the landing. Really well done. A little bit of feet in the air. The judges are looking at everything within the skills, and there it is, that chest down, really fighting for it. While it is a deduction, kudos to her for fighting for that stuck landing, and it looks like Larissa's telling her exactly that at this moment.
Lauren Pearl, as you see Jensen Wynn with the same scores, 9.775. Lauren Pearl, career high 9.8. Last week, a 9.75.
And Lauren has incredible power. This vault is ginormous. Beautiful work. Lovely position in the air. She's a very elegant athlete. You'll notice on balance beam and floor exercise that her lines are lovely, but check this out. Huge explosion off the table. Still bend in those hips at the end, which is why there was a tiny little shuffle backwards, but overall, much better execution on the landing than I saw her perform last weekend.
Pearl, a junior from Milford, Mass. As we move over to Gianna Masella, 9.85 career high, 9.825 last week. You see Rojas with a 9.7. Sella, a sophomore from Palm Harbor, Florida.
Nice job on that first handstand. Beautiful amplitude on that Jaeger release move. Nicely done on the bail transition. Lacked a little bit of perfection on the handstand, but still really well done. And just the dismount here, a big double layout with her feet glued together in a perfectly stuck landing. That was excellent, and in my opinion, should surpass that 9.85 career high. My goodness, nice work. Great job there on the giant leading up, perfectly glued together legs. She tried to bring that chest down like Marissa did, but really fought to bring it back up. And the emotion after that routine is really why we all love gymnastics.
Yeah, the power and strength right there, and then the really deep breath just to hold it together for that stuck landing. As we move over to Sarah Morall, a sophomore from Holland, Michigan.
Another full twisting Yurchenko, so much amplitude off of the table. Just that step backwards on the landing. Nice speed going into the table, beautiful position, really tight in her body. Just the slightest little pike down at the end, which resulted in the step backward, but a really solid vault lineup for the Golden Gophers.
Up from Jenny Hansen, I do want to tell you that Lauren Pearl has a new career high as we now move back over to the bars, which, by the way, Larissa Libby said this event is where they've made the most upward movement of all the events.
This is Ilka Juk, transfer from Long Island University. Little bit of legs in this entire connection there on the bail handstand. Nice work getting to that handstand position on the high bar. And a nice stuck landing for Ilka. Beautiful work. The first half of that routine was a little shaky, and then she really honed in on the dismount and found that stuck landing. A little bit over on the blind full if I'm being picky, which I should be, but excellent job on that landing. So strong in her legs, perfect landing position, and all the hugs for the transfer.
Yeah, back-to-back solid landings for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Ilka's career high at LIU was a 9.875. You see Mora score as we get ready for Gianna Gertis, the all-arounder, and along with Maya Hooten, one of the leaders. It reminds you of the Ramler and Loper days. We'll have more on that comparison from Jenny Hansen.
Here is our first look at a Yurchenko 1.5 twist. A 10.0 start value, done very well by Gianna. That step forward is a result of an over rotation. So like we saw before with the full, stepping backwards is over rotation, but here stepping forwards is an over rotation. Nice positioning in the air, really tight in the legs, pointed toes, and really the only deduction I saw there is that step forward, but excellent work by Gianna.
Yeah, we were talking before we got started, and Gertis and Hooten almost appears that they got younger as they've gone through the program. It's amazing. And here's Karina Munoz, who knows how to play it up to the camera.
Nice job on that switch grip to the straddle Jaeger position. Excuse me, it was a pike Jaeger. Nice job on a very floaty pack salto.
Career high of 9.9 on the bars for Karina.
I love this connection. Clear hip right into her dismount. Small little scooch backwards. Such a difficult connection element there at the end of the routine. Many athletes do two giants in between that, but she has so much power. Excellent job there on that pack salto. Glues those feet together. And there's the dismount. Beautiful position in the air, and just that hop backwards for Karina.
The Jersey gal with a hug for her coach, Larissa Libby. And Here's Maya Hooten. See Gertis in with a 9.85. Maya Hooten with the anchor. 9.975 career high for Maya.
And Maya knows how to find this landing. Just like that. Just like that. It's like she heard me. I told you, Dean, I do have a earpiece in her ear. She heard that from me. But my goodness, Maya Hooten, she's saying, oh my gosh, to her teammates. The power going into this vault is so great. The body position is awesome. And the textbook perfect body position there on the landing. She has a career high of a 9.975. That might be her first 10 on vault at a 9.95. Still an incredible start to the evening for Maya Hooten. She's cat-like on those 1.5 landings. I mean, really incredible work.
Season high, I'm with you. I thought it was even going to be above a 9.975. Stuck landing as the talented Adeline Kinlan, the anchor for Larissa Libby. Career high 9.9 last week, 9.85.
Such a beautiful connection there. Maloney to Pack Salto. Adeline is one of the best in the business in that combination. A little over on the blindfold, but a stuck landing. That is what the judges are left with, is that exclamation point on the landing. A very well done routine. Not to mention they had a fall in the first position, so Adeline really needed to hit. And she knew exactly where she was on that landing to wipe away that fall from Eva Volpe.
I know.
Larissa Libby talking about the fact that the bars is where they've made the most upward movement. This team has struggled in the past, but not from lack of skill, but rather from a consistency standpoint. They have switched gears, and they'll have an exhibition. It'll be Kaya Vanny, who's a sophomore from Redondo Beach, California, and Redondo Union. 9.9 for Kinlan. So reminding you, this exhibition will not count toward the team score, but a great opportunity for Kaya Vanny to get some exposure here at the pad.
It's so important for your 7th, 8th, and 9th athletes who are ready to go whenever they're needed to step into the lineup. So a great opportunity for Kaya to gain some experience on the competition floor. Very late there on the half turn, unfortunately, was supposed to land in a perfect handstand, so the judges will deduct for that. Just gearing up for her dismount, double layout to a stuck landing. Now you notice some of these athletes, we talked about it with Rojas, we talked about it with Masela, a couple of these athletes bringing their chest down on the landing, but their feet aren't moving. And while that is a deduction, it is only week 3 of competition. So great work to those athletes for fighting for those stuck landings, and a great job on that double layout. The beginning of the routine was a little bit shaky, but definitely a viable option for the Hawks for an uneven bars routine.
The Iowa Hawkeyes with a 49.025 to get things started on the bars, led by one of the faces of the Big Ten in Adeline Kinlan. Adeline Kinlan, a senior from Iowa City, getting it done. Meanwhile, Minnesota, new season high on the vault, led by the great Maya Hooten. We'll flip it when we return on the Big Ten Network. Women's hoop matchup when Caitlin Clark leads the Hawkeyes against Nebraska. Coverage begins at 2 Eastern, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Iowa number 5 in the country after a overtime loss to the Buckeyes. We're here at the PAV, the Minnesota Golden Gophers, celebrating 50 years of women's gymnastics. I was shocked when Jenny Hansen led with that on the call yesterday.
It was such a lovely way to talk about this team, and in particular really celebrating everything that they do as a team this season and how it will go into the record books and the history of Minnesota gymnastics. I just love that sentiment.
New season high on the vault for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, led by Maya Hooten in that anchor spot with the 9.95 for a 49.225.
I really like this Minnesota vault lineup. A couple of lower scores there, especially that 9.775 from Nguyen and a couple 9.825s, but those are easy changes. It's early in the year, so I see this as a great high-scoring potential opportunity for them.
And just like Minnesota, Iowa with a solid anchor as Kenlin with a 9.9 to give them a 49.025.
Very uncharacteristic slip up there from Ava Volpe, but again, she's a freshman. This is her second weekend competing, so really a lot of change happening both in how often you compete in NCAA gymnastics, but the rhythm of everything, the speed of everything. It's just a lot of change at once. So that fall is not something that we're going to see often, but major kudos to the remainder of the lineup for putting up their best foot front and figuring out how to knock out that 9.15 for a respectable 49.25 score.
20th season for Larissa Libby, who has her daughter on the team, which is a story we talked a lot about last year. Now she's just part of the fabric of this program as you see the Iowa Hawkeyes getting set. Munoz over there sitting down as Kenlin's still practicing. Olivia Karras, a multiple-time All-American, four-time Big Ten champion at Michigan. And Olivia, I mean, it's not an embellishment to say women's gymnastics at the college scene has never been bigger than it is right now.
Agreed completely, Dean. I think there's a lot of focus on women's gymnastics in such a positive light in the last couple of years, in particular with everything happening in the name, image, likeness world. A lot of gymnasts are receiving more recognition outside of the gym, and they're bringing that recognition to their teams, to the sport, to just the general aura around women's sports at the collegiate level. So I'm loving this shift in NCAA women's gymnastics hype, and I think these athletes are seeing it as well. They're getting excited. They love being on the Big Ten Network and having that recognition. So I really am excited about everything we have coming up, and I'm thrilled that Iowa and Minnesota are our first two teams on the network. They always bring a show when we have them on air.
Great shots by our outstanding crew with the Big Ten Network. And speaking of that, your work on the social media side has been awesome, Olivia. Great for the sport. Well done, you.
Well, thank you, Dean.
You see the vault order as you've got three sophomores and a couple freshmen. With the anchor with Karina Munoz. Hannah Castillo will get things started for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Big opening vault here for Hannah. Nice full twisting Yurchenko. As I mentioned before, you will see this vault frequently. It is a very well done here. Lots of power going into the table. Glued together those legs. Very nice. Just the hips on the landing. You will hear me say that many times and sound like a broken record, but that is the deduction that the judges are looking for that will propel the athlete to over-rotate. But a great start by Hannah.
Hannah's career high is a 9.825 as we await her score. We'll get ready for Marissa Jenks with a career high of 9.9 on the bars. Last week, a 9.75.
Head coach Jenny Hansen told us she is an absolute workhorse. She will continue practicing, taking second, third, fourth turns because she just wants to get better. She will keep going and training until someone tells her to stop. So Jenny has just applauded her amazing effort and accountability as a leader on this team.
This is a junior from Madison, South Dakota, and Madison High School.
crucial routine as the leadoff performer. Little rushed on that first handstand, but dynamic single bar release. It's called a ray. Very clean on that transition. A little bit shy of handstand, but worked through it well. And just the dismount here. Big double layout. And a hop backward on the landing. Really needed to absorb the mat before reacting and hopping backwards. You can see there she's a little frustrated with not getting that perfect stick, but so clean in the air. Excellent technique, sees the toes and just the hips backwards a little bit, which resulted in the over rotation. But a hit for a leadoff routine, and that's important.
Avery Chambers with a career high 9.825 last week, a 9.75. You see Castillo and her score, Avery Chambers.
Avery has a lot of power on this vault. Really well done. I wasn't going to say it, but I saw her drill that in the touch right before this rotation, and I thought, oh, whenever people stick it in the touch, they won't stick it in the meat. It's just the curse. But man, did she break that curse. Just missed the block a little bit. She almost didn't get that pop, but man, does the team love it. I think that could up her career high, and I sure hope it does. Very good work.
Larissa Libby, talking about the vault, said it's the high risk, high reward for the Iowa Hawkeyes. What does she mean by that, Olivia?
There's a lot of opportunity for upgrades. There are athletes on this roster competing easier vaults, but they're working towards that more difficult vault. And I know she just wants to get a couple meets under their belt before they start putting out a little more riskier competition vaults.
Sophia Wynn, the freshman from the state of Minnesota, on the bars for the Golden Gophers.
Sophia has such lovely lines on this event. Good work on that straddle Jaeger to shoot over. Nice last handstand. A lot of power here going into her dismount. Oh, just under rotated there. Looks like she didn't quite get the perfect position before she released from the bars. She must have released a little early, which projected her forward. If you take a look at this excellent side angle, just a little bit forward. Didn't quite wait to see her toes before she released, which is the result of the under rotation, and unfortunately a sizable step that the judges will take a decent sized deduction on.
So we move back over to Karen Bauer with a career high 9.625.
Elise has a big vault here, full twisting Yurchenko. Just so much power. I brought her up to head coach Larissa Libby in our call, and I said, Larissa, please tell me she's working on an upgrade, because that vault is massive. And as you mentioned, Dean, they want to do those high-risk vaults later in the year, but the height, the speed, the power is unbelievable, which is why she just couldn't control it for a zero deduction landing. But lots of potential in this athlete on vault.
Double hop means how much of a deduction?
It can range from a lot of different things. I'm no judge, but it unfortunately will be a decent sized deduction.
Move back over to the Minnesota Golden Gophers as Ella Siriord is on the bars for Minnesota, a senior from Andover, Minnesota.
So much height on that straddle Jaeger. Completely straight position in the legs. Ella is just so lovely on this event. Oh, just that step backwards. The rest of the routine was very well done. She just has an elegance to her on uneven bars. You'll notice that athletes have a different flair when they compete, and hers is just so easy. Everything looks effortless. Just that step on the landing, couldn't quite hold on to the perfect stick, but I love seeing her in this lineup.
Well, you see the hug there from Jenny Hansen, and the one note she left us with on the bars is she would like to see more stuck landings on the bars for Minnesota.
Absolutely, and that's going to be crucial for the final 3 athletes.
Ava Volpe, the freshman from Texas, as Iowa recruits from all over the country.
Big full twisting Yurchenko here for Ava. Nice job on that vault. She definitely controlled the hop backwards. She did have a little bit of a pike down in the hips, but managed to keep the momentum from moving far too much, just like Elise did prior. Really good work staying tight there once she landed. You see the team really happy to see her competing. They love to have her on their roster as an amazing freshman.
So we move back to Jordan Leiden with a 9.85 already for Minnesota. Freshman from Stillwater, Minnesota.
Beautiful amplitude on that Maloney to Bale connection. Great work hitting the handstand on the Bale transition. Just a little short there on that final handstand. She looked a little short on both those handstands, but a nice stuck landing on what is a massive double layout dismount. You can see why she's already been named a Big Ten Freshman of the Week. She just has such power on this event. Look at the height above the bar. A little, very minimal bend in the knees in the air. If I'm being super picky, something that the team can work on, she can work on with time, and fought for that landing like we saw with Iowa. She's really trying to fight for those perfect sticks.
Strong toes for the freshman hanging in
sure.
there. Jenny Hansen with some positive words as Adeline Kenlin, career high 9.85, and she matched her career high last week. A true model of consistency, Adeline Kenlin.
Adeline was not in the vault lineup very much last season. This season, she's crucial. That big hop is really going to hurt her score, and you could tell she knows that. She's really trying to find her vaulting stride. So much power and amplitude, and you see there just the hips. I've said it a lot, but that is the result of the hop backward, needing to just open those hips up and let it just fly into the stick. And you see Larissa giving a similar correction, just knowing that we're in week 2 for the Hawkeyes. They have a lot of time to really work on these small details.
Gianna Gertis, a career high 9.9 last week, a 9.825. She will be one to watch all season long. Talent out of the state of Ohio.
So clean in that transition. The feet stay glued together. Nice job getting that last handstand. Oh, half in, half out. Smallest little step backwards. Really minimal deductions in that entire routine. The largest being that step on the dismount. She's so clean on this event. Even in the air, toes pointed, and sees the ground, just the smallest shuffle there. Looked like she wasn't in the perfect position with her hips over her knees, unfortunately, but all smiles for the incredible senior.
Karina Munoz, career high 9.9, last week 9.875. You see Kenlin with that double hop with the 9.65. They could use a really big score here from Munoz. The Hawkeyes need it.
And talk about pike in the hips. She doesn't know what that means. This vault is massive. She knows how to flare it out just like that. Just that little hop on the landing, but she is cat-like on knowing where she is in the air. such a great pop off the table. Right there, you see it. The hips open up, and she sees the ground for the smallest shuffle. Excellent control on the landing. Really good work.
Control's the key word there.
It is.
Because there was enough amplitude for her to hop, but she controlled it.
Absolutely. She found that tight body position right when she landed. And she made sure to only move in the necessary way.
Maya Hooten, career high 9.95. That was the score. She started the day on the vault. Last week she had a 9.875. Maya Hooten ready to roll for the Gophers.
Maya is so dynamic on this event. You will see why with this first release. Huge height directly connected to her bar transition. Great job on the handstand and big dismount here. Nice job holding the stick. Little bit of arm movement there, so it was not a zero deduction stuck landing. The judges will deduct for the lack of control, but my goodness, that is a huge piked Jaeger. And here is that final skill, the dismount. Great height and distance away from the apparatus. Her chest is just a little low right there. She fights for it. 2 arm swings, which the judges will deduct for.
Boy, she just seems so ready for this season, doesn't she, Maya Hooten and Gertis? As we've got exhibition here for Iowa. Again, this won't count toward their team score. Gianna Masella, a career high 9.9. Last week, a 9.55. She'll get a chance.
Good job there from Gianna. A little flat throughout the entire routine. She didn't quite get that pop off the table, but kudos to her, as last week she only competed a layout, so adding the full twist is an excellent upgrade. So kudos to her for that. Just a little more time in the gym, a couple more numbers on that vault will get her to the perfect place she needs to be.
Minnesota also with an exhibition. Sophie Schwartzmiller, the freshman from Madison, Wisconsin, went to Oregon High School. Sophie Schwartzmiller, a chance to show Coach Hansen what she can do.
Short first handstand there. The judges will deduct. Nice job on the Jaeger. A little short on that handstand again, so just missing these crucial points. These hit handstands are really what takes the routine from good to great. A dismount there, blindfold to a double top, step backward, but the team is just so happy for her as a freshman to be competing in the exhibition, showing what she can do. And while there were a couple deductions there, she is starting to figure out what it feels like to compete in college, and that's an excellent start.
Through 2 rotations, Minnesota at home, the PAV 98.3, Iowa with a 97.9. Larissa Libby has the team's attention as we get ready. Women's gymnastics on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Speaking of State Farm, so good to see the future stars, and they are loving seeing the focus of our State Farm State of Success. None other than Maya Hooten, a unbelievable career at Minnesota that you know she's going to add to those perfect 10s, I'm sure.
We were just talking about how incredibly fresh and just full of joy and momentum she looks. She just looks like a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed freshman who walked in the door, and yet she's this veteran senior who has this aura of their business isn't done. And I can tell, and I love that from her, and how she embodies that is so wonderful for the sport, for Minnesota, and just for all of these young athletes watching.
Pure joy.
Pure joy.
Maya Hooten not in the all-around, but Olivia Karras telling us earlier in the Open, we do expect her to maybe join Gertis later on. Gertis leading for Minnesota with Kenlin and the freshman Volpe.
I do think that, Gianna Gertis has been incredible in the all-around for the Gophers. But Adeline Kenlin, to me, there's something about her this season that is just a different level of maturity. And head coach Larissa Libby told us that she actually spent the summer in a program in Vietnam working in a bunch of different educational aspects and a lot of community service. She came back a completely different and matured athlete. And I love that they allowed her the time to go away, not focus on gymnastics and focus on herself, focus on an amazing opportunity to go and do that overseas and come back with a fresh mind, ready to do whatever she's ready to do this year. And so far, it seems like she has a lot of focus on really bringing this team together.
Yeah, I mean, everything that you just said is kind of what we're saying about Houghton and Gertis.
Totally.
Right? They all look like they're ready to do big things this year. As you see the score for Minnesota, a couple of 9.85s, Leiden and Maya Houghton with 9.85 for an event total of 49.075. Through two rotations, only one score under 9.65 for either team. Kenlin having a blast.
She is so much fun. I just love how she is both the mom of the team and just being a leader, on top of having incredible energy and just loving everything that goes into gymnastics. And I just love that.
So you see the scores through two rotation. Emily Cook leading off on the beam. Minnesota 18th in the country on the beam. Iowa 20th in the country on the floor. What a great shot right there. All of them that deep run together. This is the correct lineup for Larissa Libby, including her daughter in the fourth spot, the sophomore Bailey Libby, so good on the floor. Emily Cook, career high 9.925, last week 9.775. Jenny Hansen saying they've been pretty steady on the beam, consistent. She has confidence in every single person that she puts up on the beam. Cook, so elegant with such great lines, so fun to watch.
She has such Nastia Lukin energy, and if any gymnastics fans are out there, you know exactly what that means. The lines are beautiful, her toe point is lovely. She just exudes such elegance on this event. Perfect leadoff performer.
She's a senior from Bloomington, Minnesota.
Nice full turn there. All athletes competing balance beam are required to do a turning element. Oh no! Oh gosh. Back handspring, layout, step out, just couldn't hold on. Unfortunately had to touch the balance beam and fell off. So uncharacteristic for her.
Very rare.
Oh no. Oh gosh. Just looks off completely on this routine, and Jenny Hansen told us she's just been such a rock for this Golden Gopher beam lineup. And everyone's humans. Sometimes this happens, and it sucks that it happens on balance beam at home in front of your home crowd, but it's a part of the sport.
Well, remember, they dropped one of the 6 scores, so the 5 behind her will be able to pick it up. And Emily Cook, trust me folks, she will be back. She has been an incredible performer You said it, rarely does that happen for Emily.
It does, however, put pressure on these final 5 athletes, as you mentioned, Dean. So they're really going to have to double down on these scores and make sure that they can bring their best to drop that leadoff performance.
Alexa Ebling. Whistle Libby saying about the Hawkeyes on the floor, as in the past, this is an excellent event for the Hawkeyes.
And Alexa is new to the floor lineup. First time competing last weekend at home. Everything is new. The routine, the tumbling, competing on floor. So it's a great opportunity for her. Good work staying in bounds there. Couple of steps, unfortunately, but avoided the 1/10 deduction for stepping out of bounds. So good work there. Second pass for Alexa. Her combination pass, 1.5 to a front pike, perfectly stuck.
Hawkeyes started the season defeating Washington, who will be in the Big Ten next year.
Alexa's teammates coming over to the corner, giving her some words of wisdom before her final tumbling pass. Big double tuck, step forward on the landing. All athletes on floor are allowed to lunge out of their tumbling. That was a lunge forward instead of backward. So is an under rotation, but a great recovery from a little bit of a slip up on the first pass.
You said it best, though. Despite the little slip, she did stay in bounds, so that will help her score. Lauren Pearl with a 9.775 career high. Last week, a 9.525.
Lots of pressure here on these remaining 5 athletes. And last week, Lauren was a little shaky. You mentioned, Dean, that 9.525 score. She's certainly capable of a score significantly higher than that. Lauren is a very sharp balance beam worker. All of her movements are extremely intentional in her dance as well as her tumbling, just like that rock solid back handspring layout step out series. Beautiful full turn, really well done.
Minnesota was brilliant at the Super 16 and then got a win over Eastern Michigan.
Switch lead, straddle quarter, perfect 180-degree positioning on the straddle jump, just shy of the split on the switch lead. And a good recovery there. Excellent front aerial beat jump. That was one of the skills she had a little trouble with last weekend and not this weekend. Just the dismount, back handspring to a gainer full and a stuck landing. That is how you solidify yourself in the beam lineup and how to get your team back on track after a shaky first routine.
Lauren Pearl telling Emily Cook, I got your back.
I love that. That's the beauty of NCAA gymnastics. Excellent routine, and there she goes to get that stuck landing to finish it off. Good work, Lauren Pearl.
Big hug there from Gianna Gertis and Hooten, the leaders of the Golden Gophers. Go back to the freshman Ava Volpe. 9.775 already for the freshman on the floor. Volpe up for the Hawkeyes.
Opening pass for Ava. Front layout to a Rudy. Good work there. A little bit of bend in the legs on the twisting skill, but a great controlled lunge.
She's fun.
I love seeing her so adaptable on floor exercise. It's one of those events that is hard for freshmen to get comfortable with in college coming from club, but Ava's having no problems so far.
We experienced that fun for the Hawkeyes last year for the Big Ten Championships. As I mentioned, Larissa Libby recruits from all over the country and into Canada.
Big last pass here for Ava. Double pike. See if she can get that landing. Nice work. Little bit low with her chest on the landing, but the strength she has to bring it up into that controlled lunge for a very minimal deduction, if any. Nice job by the freshman finding her stride here in this fun and energetic Hawkeye lineup. See that chest position there, a little bit low, but she figured out how to work it out of there and get a great finish for the Hawks. Larissa loves it.
Hawks had a 49.3 on the floor last week, their highest score on any event. As we move back to Katie Horak, see Lauren Pearl with a 9.775.
That is a low score in my opinion, but maybe the judges saw something I didn't. Big opening test here for Katie. Back handspring layout, step out. Perfection.
9.85 career high, 9.8 last week. Senior from Buffalo, Minnesota.
So intentional with her movements here. Hike jump to straddle half, controlled that landing. Beautiful beat jump to standing layout. Such a difficult skill, standing layout, not to mention opening it with a beat jump. Let's see if she can get that stuck landing. There we go. Little bit of messiness within the dismount. Her legs came apart a bit, but hey, when you have a fall in your first performer and then Lauren Pearl comes back with that solid routine, you are set up for success, and she took it and ran with it. Look at that smirk on her face, knows she did exactly what she needed to do, and the team greets her with nothing but hugs and excitement.
After Emily Cook with those rare falls, Pearl and Horak deliver as we move to Emily Erb, career high 9.875 in her event debut. Emily Erb up next for the Hawkeyes.
So impressive for Emily to debut on floor, earning a 9.875, incredible confidence booster. Nice double pike. Again, we saw that lunge forward, which is a slight under rotation. The judges will deduct for that. Leap combination there. Beautiful straddle position. These Iowa Hawkeyes just know how to perform. I almost want Larissa Libby to put a master class together for performance on floor exercise, because they really know how to make it work. Off there on that last pass, she was actually meant to do a front full twist out of the 1.5, but thought on her feet, truly actually thought in the air. It's already difficult enough to change what you're doing before you go, but to do it in the air, I mean, my gosh. But check out this opening double pike. You see the shoulders there a little bit in front, which resulted in the step forward, but here's that 1.5 meant to do a front full, ends up doing a half instead. And wow, talk about being adaptable and figuring out what you need to do in the moment. I mean, that is a true athlete move.
Well, that slow-mo really puts on display how freakishly athletic all these gymnasts are. Just so powerful. So here's Seryord, the senior from Andover, Minnesota. This is awesome.
Very difficult candlestick mount. Became popular in the NCAA the last couple years. And perfectly done by Ella. Nice full turn.
9.8 career high for Ella.
Rock solid back handspring layout step out. So much purpose in this routine. You can see the focus. She goes into her leap connection, switch leap to a difficult double stag. Found out just today, actually, that Ella is an amazing graphic designer, putting together the 50th years of Gopher Gymnastics video on their social media pages. So very cool to see her passions in videography.
It's outstanding.
Handspring gainer full to a stuck landing for Ella. I'm being picky. She did pike down on that landing a little bit, but loving the camaraderie there from Emily Cook, knowing that she needed to nail that. Here's that mount, Dino, that you really liked. So difficult, jumping backwards. Leg separation there. We see it in slow-mo as a reminder the judges do not get slow-mo. But here is the dismount. See that pike down body position at the end, but the perfect stuck landing really makes up for that. The team is fist pumping and is so happy for her.
You mentioned it, Emily Cook was the first one there to give a high five to Seryord. As we move back over to Bailey Libby, 9.875 career high, and she hit it last week in that win over Washington.
They could really use that score here. Good first pass, a little reactive there on the landing. She didn't quite let herself sink into the floor. Coach Larissa Libby, also her mom, told us she's really matured into this dance this year. Second pass here for Bailey, 1.5, front layout, dances right out of it. As someone who is very close with my mom, knowing what she went through watching me as an athlete, I cannot imagine what Larissa feels watching her athlete, who also happens to be her daughter, compete in college. What a crazy, unique experience.
Larissa talked a lot last year about how they had rules at home, mom/coach, and when to break them out.
Final pass for Bailey. Rudy dismount. And it looks like she lost her hair bow. So funny. You know, we're not perfect with gymnasts. Hair bows go flying. Things happen. But you work through it like nothing happened. Last pass, and there goes the ribbon, but she is unfazed and loves seeing Larissa there in her corner, watching her baby. Such a cool experience.
They're beyond cool. Nothing better than watching your kids do what they love and then to actually be the coach. What a great shot by our crew. Speaking of youngsters, Jordan Lydon gets a chance now on the beam. Again, that great mount.
This is sorry, Dean, great opportunity here for Jordan after 2 career highs from her teammates. Unique there, a double wolf turn, a skill very common in elite gymnastics and Olympic level gymnastics, not as common in the NCAA, so I love to see a unique skill there from the freshman.
Bailey Libby with a 9.825 on the floor.
Beautiful back handspring layout, step out. Hitch kick to switch side, lacking 180-degree split there on the switch side. The judges will deduct for that as each athlete must show 180 degrees. Just the dismount here. Quick routine, round off 1.5 twist. Tiniest little scoot. I don't think it was a perfect stuck landing, but my gosh, first competitive beam routine in the lineup. You have a fall from a senior in the first spot. The next 3 athletes are rock solid, and now you're a freshman thrown into the lineup. What do? You hit. And that's exactly what she did here. Smallest little scoot there with the right foot on the landing, but what a sigh of relief and a moment of joy for her to know that she can hit under that type of pressure.
Massive pressure.
Massive pressure.
Lauren, Katie, Ella, and Jordan, and you know with Gianna Gertis waiting in the wings, Jenny Hansen's got to believe they're going to get through it. I hope I didn't jinx Gianna Gertis. I don't think I did. I don't think Gianna is jinxable. Adeline Kinlan, 9.925 career high. That's what she hit last week as well.
And I'm excited for this. This is a new routine. First time we are seeing it. Opening pass for Adeline. Front double full. So much height on that pass.
Larissa Libby telling us behind the leadership of Kenlin, their theme this year is now. No opportunity wasted.
Such a difficult leap combination there. The tour jeté in a ring position. Head coach Larissa Libby telling us this routine is showing a different side of Adeline. It's very mature. There's lots of eye contact. I've loved watching her choreography throughout the years in her career. Final pass, 1.5 to a front layout. Slightly under-rotated, but she managed to save it for a minimal deduction and an excellent debut of the new routine. So funny watching her doing such a serious routine. She's such a goon on the team, has so much energy, the biggest smile. There was that last pass, the slightest little blip there. She made it hardly look like a blip. And I love to see all the reactions from her teammates.
The dimples are out for Gianna Gertis, 9.9 career high.
They certainly could use that here. Final competitor must hit to drop the first score.
All Big Ten performer.
Slight bobble there, a little bend at the hips. Perhaps slight nervous mistake, as we call it. But no problems there. Back handspring layout, step out, really tight there on the landing. Split jump to a double stag. Just shaky overall in this routine. It's a lot of pressure being the anchor on balance beam with a fall earlier in the lineup. It's not something you can practice. It's a situational experience that only gets easier, and if it does get easier with practice, but a great landing there. You can see she knows she had to hit, but isn't showing that grave excitement as she knows it wasn't the perfect routine, but a hit nonetheless. Another look at that dismount to a perfect stuck landing. Nice way to conclude that competitive beam rotation for the Golden Gophers.
Anna Castillo. The anchor, as you see the scores. Raton, Florida, Monarch High School.
Opening pass for Hannah. Big front through to a double pike. Perfect stuck landing position. Showed great control on the lunge backward.
She had a 9.925 against Michigan State a year ago.
Jump combination. Second pass here, double tuck, perfect stuck landing. Well, you can see why she's received a 9.925. That was the best routine of the lineup and should be rewarded for such. Good job on those jumps. She didn't quite get the first jump around the switch side half. Very difficult to get that all the way around, but if I'm a judge, I'm forgetting that when I see this stuck double tuck. Doesn't even need to take the lunge backward. The team goes nuts, and a big hug from Larissa Libby with an "I'm so proud of you." Wow, nice.
So Maya Hooten, you mentioned it in the open, Olivia Karas, that she is working her way into the all-around story. This is exhibition for Maya Hooten on the beam. Excited to see this.
Very important moment for Maya. She wants that all-around berth. She's looking to get in the balance beam lineup. But as you saw today with that, oh no. Just off there, looked like from the start on her series. Oh. Just overall, not the Maya Hooten we know on the other events. Just a little bit shaky. Doesn't seem as intentional with her movements. Cat leap to switch side there. Just off on every skill, unfortunately. Round off 1.5, step backwards, so under rotated. Certainly not what she was looking to show head coach Jenny Hansen.
One of the rare times you don't see the big, bright smile. Through 3, you see Minnesota with the lead, albeit slim, against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Meanwhile, Kenlin, with that new performance on the floor, takes the lead in the all-around after 3 events with a 9.875. Gianna Gertis.
Hill Pretzel Baconator in the Wendy's app and get $3 off orders over $15.
Tomorrow, catch a pair of border battles on the hardwood. First, Dawson Garcia and the Golden Gophers host Wisconsin in men's hoops. Then on the women's side, Minnesota takes on the Badgers in a big-time border matchup. It's all tomorrow only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Adeline Kenlin leading the all-around through 3 rotations. 29.425. It is a super close one, though. Gertis lurking.
And they are both going to arguably their best events. Adeline with a career high 9.975 on balance beam. Gertis going to floor where she has a career high 9.95. So high scoring potential for both athletes.
Kenlin and Castillo 9.875. Remember, we heard Larissa Libby tell Hannah Castilla how proud she was of her with a 49.025 team score on the floor. Now, you need to remember Minnesota is 9th nationally on the floor. Take a look at the beam scores after 2 rare falls from Emily Cook. Pretty solid. I feel like I did jinx Gianna a little bit.
But talk about Katie Horak and Ella Siriord coming out with those 9.875s right there in the middle of the lineup. Both career highs for those athletes. Those are 2 athletes that Jenny Hansen really spotlighted to us as people that have stepped up. They're competing. They're doing great. They're putting the work in the gym. And man, did that pay off tonight.
8 teams from the Big Ten. There are 10 women's gymnastic teams in the Big Ten, 8 of them in the top 25. This weekend, stream women's gymnastics live on Big Ten Plus. Friday, don't miss Iowa take on Southern Utah. Then Saturday, Minnesota hosts Maryland. There's no plus like home. Download Big Ten Plus and subscribe right now. You know Olivia Karras has all 4 computers rolling with gymnastics and then some.
You're outing me, Dean.
So we're off and rolling. Obviously, it's going to be an exciting season. The Big Fives, working our way all the way to the Big Ten championships. But what caught your eye of the opening weeks for women's gymnastics, particularly in the Big Ten here?
Man, there are a lot of good teams. You are seeing teams that are coming to play. I mean, Michigan, my alma mater, has been incredible. They lost a couple of really key athletes in those lineups, and we've seen new faces hit the mat, and that's really important. Michigan State has been on a constant climb since 2021. It's been so excellent watching them in this campaign for greatness. And Ohio State hosted the University of Michigan yesterday, kept it really close. Michigan came away with the win at the last second, but Ohio State has a team stacked full of talent, and I know head coach Meredith Polisivic is excited about her Buckeyes. I'm excited about her Buckeyes. So lots of great gymnastics across the board from all of these teams. I'm thrilled we get to watch them throughout this season.
So Lauren Pearl, there was a scoring adjustment. As you see, she got a 9.875, and you just couldn't have asked for more after the surprise of Emily Cook. That could have easily rattled when you know how good Emily Cook is. We talked about how elegant she is, and nice response from Pearl and the fans here at the PAV. love it. 50 years of women's gymnastics for Minnesota. Jenny Hansen was a gymnast here. 10 years now she's been the head coach. So Minnesota, they were 9th after the new rankings came out today. They're 12th in the nation on the floor. Iowa 12th on the beam. Ava Volpe 9.775.
Just a freshman, Ava Volpe, in the leadoff on balance beam, arguably the most difficult position on any event, and starting off very strong. That back handspring layout step out series and a lovely smile afterward. Switch leap to straddle quarter, a little bit of movement there, bringing her chest forward, but found her center position quickly afterward. Rock solid front aerial there. Just the dismount for Ava, looking for a stick to conclude an already excellent routine. There it is. Round off, tucked, 1.5. Little bit of chest position on the landing, but she really fought to bring it back. Loving this slow-mo from our crew. Front aerial, nice job finding the landing. Loving the smirk on her face. And then the dismount, tucked 1.5. Little bit up on the toes there, but she brings her heels down to the mat. Center of gravity there, and my gosh, what a great leadoff performance. An all-around day for the freshman.
She will be one of the freshmen to watch all season long. Marissa Jenks will lead off for the Gophers on the floor. She's got a career high of 9.85. Last week, 9.775. Marissa Jenks.
We talked earlier about how highly Jenny Hansen speaks of Marissa, saying she's really found her spot here, leading off 3 of the 4 events, so critical. Nice front double twist, a little shy of making it all the way around. Means she made it about 1 7/8 around, not quite all the way around twice, so the judges will deduct for that. But beautiful leap combination. Round off 1.5 to a front layout. So clean in the air.
Olivia, you performed at the PAV. It feels like it's always a party at the PAV.
It does. I mean, both Iowa and Minnesota sure do put on floor parties. Final pass there. Front 1.5 called a Rudy. It didn't look like she stepped out. I couldn't quite see with the angle. I don't believe she did, but did bounce backwards a little. The judges will deduct for that, but a solid start on floor for the Gophers. There's that final pass one more time. Looks like she stayed inbounds, did bounce back slightly, but a good hit for the floor squad.
Fans enjoying the party. Iowa had a 49.15 on the beam last week as Alexa Ebling. As you see, Volpe in with that 9.775. Ebling with a 9.875 career high set last week.
Like Emily Cook, Alexa has beautiful lines. Great correction there. She was slightly off on that landing. Did well minimizing the deductions. Good work, side aerial, very difficult. Switch leap to a split jump and then a split 3/4. That is one of the harder dance combinations on balance beam that Alexa made look very easy. The decent size hop back there on the Gainer Pike dismount. That dismount's very difficult. You're going forward while flipping backwards, so a hard skill to learn. Big sigh of relief there from Alexa. See the dismount here once more. Dangerously close there to the end of the beam. Thankfully, she was able to make it all the way around safely. But another hit routine for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
So we move back over to the floor where Minnesota is 12th in the country, and it's Lauren Pearl. Came up huge on the beam. 9.875 career high on the floor.
I love the different styles of choreography this floor lineup brings. Nice 1.5 front layout, opening pass. Beautiful amplitude on her leaps.
Minnesota 27-8 in home openers at the PAV. 9-1 under Jenny Hansen.
Final pass for Lauren. She ends with a big double pike. Very nice. Slightest little slide back of her front foot, and no deduction lunge is where your front foot stays planted and your back foot just steps back into a lunge. So her front foot slid ever so slightly, but the height is great. There you see it, just a little bit. But she has had herself a day. Nice job.
Feel the excitement building here in the final rotation. Minnesota, as we mentioned several times, celebrating 50 years, has qualified for the NCAA Regionals in 8 of Hansen's 10 years as the coach.
Adeline never misses an opportunity to rile the crowd up. It's my favorite thing about her.
Marissa Rojas, still waiting on the score for Alexa Ebling, as Marissa Rojas with a career high of 9.925, last week at 9.825. So many different unique personalities on this Iowa Hawkeyes team.
Full turn. Here's her big test. It's a triple series. 2 back handsprings into a layout step out. There we go. Nice job. Very difficult connecting 3 skills in a row. She made that look much easier than it is. Two switch leaps into a split jump. All 3 splits were just shy of the perfect 180 degrees. So the judges will likely take a slight deduction for each of them. But there's a perfect stuck landing for Marissa Rojas. one of the hardest workers on this Iowa Hawkeye team, so deserving of that hit routine. Check this out. 1, 2, and into the layout step out. Perfectly square on the balance beam. A nice height on the gainer full, finding the landing and bringing those heels together. Team loves it.
Libby right there. Evening, by the way, at 9-7. Rojas could chase down that 9-9-2-5. Now we move to Johnson, coming off a 9-9 right in the middle of the lineup for Jenny Hansen. Really excited to see what Johnson can bring. Soraya Johnson.
She is one of those athletes who is just absolutely rock solid on floor exercise. Perfect spot, third in the lineup. Really can build off of the momentum of the first two athletes. Opens up with her combination pass of a front full to a front half. Each athlete is required to do a pass that connects two salto elements.
Soraya, sophomore from Woodstock, Georgia, and Peachtree Ridge High School.
Final pass for Soraya, big double tuck. There we go, beautiful control on that landing. And she has looked so consistent on floor exercise. I love seeing her big smile and the team giving all the hugs. Well deserved. You notice that she actually does her double salto out of just a round off, doesn't do the back handspring that we see many athletes do, and still gets enough height distance for a perfect stuck landing.
Really enjoyable performance for the sophomore right in the middle of that lineup for Jenny Hansen. Now Karina Munoz. 9-9-2-5 career high. Last week a 9-7-2-5.
Karina is just an all-around five-star athlete. She has it all. She has performance, strength, consistency. She's one of those people you want on your team in moments like that, just off on that first skill, but you couldn't even tell.
Soraya ties her career high, 9-9 on the floor for the Gophers.
So far, so good here for Karina. Gearing up for her series, back handspring layout, step out. She was just a little off and did not show the judges any semblance of a deduction. That is such a veteran move, and she's just a sophomore. Back handspring, gainer full to a stuck landing. Karina Munoz did not waste any time after her stupendous freshman campaign, coming out her sophomore year with so much poise. Here she goes for that series back handspring layout step out. Look at the height on that layout, perfectly straight in the legs, and then tops it off with this. Look at that slow-mo. Loving that view for our viewers to see exactly how crucial it is to stay open in her body to find that landing.
She's a leader. Last year at the Big Ten Championships, Iowa sent Munoz to the press conference to represent the Iowa Hawkeyes as a freshman with pretty much all seniors.
Quite an honor.
So here's Emily Cook. I I think she's going to respond in a big way from the beam.
One of my favorite things about Emily Cook is she always has a smile on her face. No matter what happens, rough beam rotation comes back with a big smile and an excellent opening pass like that front double full.
Career high for Emily. Last week, 9.875.
Good work getting those jumps all the way around.
By the way, Munoz with a 9.9 on the beam to match Johnson's 9.9 on the floor.
Beautiful combination pass. As we talked about earlier, her lines are so nice. And just the dismount here, she ends with a Rudy. What a comeback routine by Emily Cook. Now that's the type of athlete you want on your roster.
Oh, you know it. Emily Cook.
Here's her combination pass, 1.5 to front leg. Notice the legs never come apart throughout the entire skill. And finishes it off with a Rudy, same thing, feet glued together, toes pointed, and that perfect controlled lunge.
You and I have been together a long time now, Olivia. In fact, I remember interviewing you as a freshman, but you know, you think of Ramler, you think of Loper, you think of Hooten, you think of Gertis, but I'm telling you, Emily Cook is one of those gymnasts that is always fun to watch.
I couldn't agree more.
All right, so for Iowa, it's Ilka Juk, I apologize, as she gets up on the beam.
And she did not just get up on the beam. That was quite a unique mount. Round off back handspring onto the balance beam. So difficult. Another triple series, just a little bobble there on the landing. But great work getting her center of gravity back.
Like her coach, Juk, a Canadian, transfer from LIU.
Such gorgeous flexibility in this routine. The performance quality is superb, even on the balance beam. The balance beam is only 4 inches wide. It's very difficult to take your eyes off of the apparatus, and she's doing so with such confidence and conviction. Check that out, a full twisting back handspring, so rare in NCAA gymnastics and done with 0 deduction. Just the dismount here. Let's see if she can find the stick. Cartwheel to a gainer full. Oh, the smallest hop backward. But Ilka Juk, one of those athletes that takes your breath away when she competes. She has the flexibility, she has the performance quality, but look at this full twisting back handspring. We will see a lot of gymnastics, but there is nothing quite as difficult as that. Cartwheel gainer full needs a little more pop off the balance beam to get that height, but the hug from Coach Libby and the relief you see there says it all.
Here we go. Gianna Gertis, followed by Maya Hooten. 2 of the showstoppers, not just in the Big Ten, but in the nation. Gianna Gertis with a 9.95 career high on the floor.
It has been such a treat watching Gianna mature into such a leader for this Gopher squad. Opening pass, very difficult, front through to a double tuck. Nice job. Coach Jenny Hansen told us that Gianna and her dad actually worked on this music together, customizing it to fit her perfectly.
I love that story. As you know, I went to high school with her mom, a little tiny high school in Ohio, and her mom's brother was class president. Her mom, Marcy, a year younger than me. Small world.
Big deep breath before her final tumbling pass, a big double pike. Oh, just that hop forward, a little under-rotated. But such a dramatic finish, beautiful routine that I'm thrilled we get to see more of throughout the season. Here's that last pass. Big set there for the double pike and just doesn't get her shoulders up as quickly as she needed to for a no deduction landing. But we are only in week 3 of competition, so these types of things come as the season progresses.
Adeline Kenlin, 2022 silver medalist on the beam, 9.975 career high, 9.95 last week.
And this is my Super Bowl, Dean. Adeline Kenlin on balance beam, followed by Maya Hooten on floor exercise. It is just everything I dream of and more.
So well said.
I'd be remiss not to mention that beautiful opening leap combination. Back handspring layout, step out just a little bit off, but as the veteran she is, really found a way to bring her center back, not give away too many deductions. Perfect on that combination there. Even with that little uncharacteristic blip, so much confidence, stuck landing. It wasn't the perfect routine we've seen her do, but the veteran she is, she knows it was important regardless of the small bobble. And she came around and didn't give away any deductions after that, specifically with this textbook cartwheel gainer full. Look at the height, really gives you an idea of what these athletes are doing. And a perfect stuck landing.
Gertis before her with a 9.825 on the floor, a 39.225 for her all around. Kenlin needs at least a 9.825 on the beam. You think she'll get it as we get ready for Maya Hooten?
I'm no judge. We didn't see exactly what they saw, but I definitely think it could happen.
Maya Hooten.
Dean, make sure you stay in your seat. I know you get too excited when Maya Hooten competes.
She changed her music, but has not changed her ability to get 10s.
Did you see that, Dean? Perfectly stuck, full in. It's like, I don't know how she does this. It's incredible. Here's her Beyonce mix. She's had Beyonce in her floor routines every year of her career. I would love nothing more than Beyonce to see this. Beyonce, if you're watching, take a look. Beautiful combination pass. Front full, the front pike rises, which is exactly what the judges are looking for. Final pass for Maya Hooten. Big double tuck. Little bobble there on the landing. I don't think it's going to be a perfect 10, but still an unbelievably incredible performance. Her tumbling is massive. The technique is perfect. The execution is incredible. I mean, this first pass should replace the Mona Lisa in the Louvre. I mean, the body position is amazing. Putting the arms back like that with the tight position, the second tumbling pass. Look at how that front pipe rises. And then the dismount, the double tuck, just massive height. Loving this slow-mo angle. And that lunge backward, she has it there. Oh, and that little bobble there, and that's likely going to not give her the perfect 10, but overall, I mean, she just blows me away every time I watch her do floor.
9.95 for Maya Hooten, and a 49.425 on the floor. We'll have two exhibitions before we tidy things up. It's Aubrey Nick for Iowa, the senior out of Illinois.
Difficult mount there. She does a switch leap onto the balance beam into a leap, a little off. Beautiful back handspring layout, step out. I had a chance to spend some time with Aubrey at the Big Ten Championship last season. She is just an all-around cool, smart, interesting person. Her teammates love her. She's so great as a leader. Came up a little shy on that front aerial, but worked through it well. The dismount, round off 1.5, little hop backward, but great experience for Aubrey there competing in the exhibition. You never know when an athlete is going to need to take a break or come out of the lineup, and she's the great replacement.
Job by Nick. As you see those scores, Adeline Kenlin with that score will take the all-around. 39.275. Gianna Gertis from Minnesota with a 39.225. The Gophers also with an exhibition. See what Leah can do for the Golden Gophers. Leah Gonczarowski. I think I hit that. Out of Milton, Wisconsin, and Milton High School.
I asked head coach Jenny Hansen about Leah. I said, she is so amazing on floor exercise. You see there, full twisting double back. Unfortunately, steps out of bounds. That will be a 1/10 deduction, but she just has so much talent on this event. Jenny mentioned that they're really trying to give her some experience in the exhibition before putting her in the lineup, but they're so proud of how far she's come so far on the event. Second pass, round off 1.5 to a front layout, dances right out of it. Looks like her music stopped, and bravo to her for continuing to go. You are not allowed to stop, so she is moving as if nothing happened. So difficult to finish off your routine without music, and look at that beautiful double tuck. Great work by Leah, a freshman, loses her music, doesn't know. Unmatched. Can you talk about your lineup today, Leah going in the exhibition, and just that team in general and the excitement on floor exercise?
Yeah, we've got a tremendous floor team, and just everybody's got a different style, different personality, and it's so fun to watch. But they're all very confident on that event, so it is fun to see it build and build throughout the rotation. But yeah, we love ending on floor exercise for sure.
You heard me mention 50 years of excellence of women gymnastics, and it's pretty neat to have a superstar athlete like Maya Hooten be part of that 50-year team. Just talk a little bit about what she brings.
Well, when you get a chance to watch Maya, you can't help but take notice. I mean, she's just electric when you see her, and she just has so much fun and energy, and she draws everybody to her attention when she goes, and she brings that all the time into the gym, and she's just one of those people that can elevate a room, and she can bring energy instantly the moment she walks in, and she does that for our team.
Well, you do it as well. You played a big role in those 50 years, Coach. Thanks for being with us, and congrats on the win.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All right, always a superstar. And as we take a look at the floor numbers, Olivia Karras, great job by the Minnesota Golden Gophers closing out the night.
Such an amazing floor exercise rotation. You hear Jenny Hansen talk about the confidence of this entire lineup, but look at that, no score below a 9.825. And I know they dropped her score, but massive kudos to Marissa Jenks for just leading off that rotation with so much confidence and energy. And of course, we would be remiss to not talk about Maya Houghton's amazing 9.95. But take a look at this 49.225 rotation score for Iowa, ending on being very difficult, and so much grit on this team.